No camper can imagine long camping trips in the great outdoors without making a campfire and sitting around it. Most of the time, a campfire works as the primary source of enjoyment during an outdoor trip. Campers get mesmerized seeing flames, hearing the crackling sound, and sensing the warmth. However, making a campfire, especially for beginners, can sometimes be daunting, and that's primarily because they aren't following the correct way for making one. Hence, to help them out, we'll break down everything regarding how to make a campfire in today's video. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Before moving on to making a campfire, let's discuss the basics you need to know to start a sustainable campfire in the woods. First, you need to choose a place for the fire or ring. Select a couple of tinders to catch fire, kindling for accelerating your fire, and finally firewood to maintain a constant heat for an extended duration. Also, you need to know the correct way of utilizing all of these pieces of equipment for making a great campfire. Now let's briefly discuss the mechanism of building a campfire. First of all, you need to select a place that's permitted to build fires. Most campgrounds offer designated areas along with built-in fire rings to help you start a campfire. For your information, fire rings are essential as they prevent fires from spreading outside the perimeter and starting a wildfire. However, if you choose a remote area for camping, you should bring your campfire ring to the campsite. Of course, you need to pay close attention to gathering appropriate firewood for burning a successful fire. As we've already discussed, you'll need 3 fuel types: tinder, kindling, and firewood. So let's start with each tinder type as best for campfire use. In essence, small twigs, dry leaves, or forest duff work well when catching fire. Make sure you choose dead and dry trees. Speaking of kindling, small dry sticks work perfectly fine for building up your fire. When talking about the firewood, here we have more to discuss. Firewood will play the leading role in keeping your fire sustainable, so it would be best if you chose it wisely. We recommend you go with a large piece of dry and thick wood. If you fail to find the recommended size, you can collect any dry wood from dead trees and start to slice and chop them with your axe and to give them an ideal shape for the campfire. And for accomplishing this cutting chore comfortably, you should always use the best quality camping axe. Anyway, we have some camping axe recommendations for you, and you'll find those in the link in the description box below. So now we've arranged everything, it's time to build a campfire. To start a fire, you can follow 3 different methods: cone, log cabin, or pyramid. For applying the cone method, first place tinders in the middle of your campfire ring, then make a small cone with kindling. After that, you're set to build a fire. You can add a large log according to your need once the flame goes strong. For the log cabin method, you need to place 2 large pieces of firewood parallel to each other in the campfire ring. Then add another 2 small pieces of firewood perpendicularly to form a square. Now place a bunch of tinders inside the square. After that, add a few more layers of firewood until the square gets completely blocked. But remember, you should always leave space for air circulation. Fill the top section with kindling and tinders. Finally, you're ready to start your campfire. Now let's discuss the last technique of building a campfire, the pyramid method. For that, you need to place 3 or 4 large pieces of firewood side by side inside the campfire ring. Then place a second layer of firewood on top of them in the opposite direction. Follow this alternating method until the top layer gets smaller. At this point, you should insert kindling and tinder at the top. Although there's nothing much to talk about in this section, we want to ensure you don't make any mistakes while lighting a fire at your campsite. You can use a match, a lighter, or a fire starter to light the tinder. Tinder is a great option. However, you can gather dry leaves or any burnable materials and initially light a fire. Sometimes you can also start a fire using your magnifying glass if there's bright sunlight. However, after burning it, try to blow at the base of the fire to provide oxygen in order to increase the intensity of the flame. Finally, with this ignited tinder, you need to light the wood. As the fire starts to burn, you should move embers to the center to burn firewood completely. In this way, you can quickly create a fire with tinder. When you're done with your recreational activities, it's time to extinguish the campfire. For accomplishing this chore, the rule of thumb is to pour water on the fire carefully and make sure you aren't standing too close to it. Then stir the ashes and again pour more water on top of it. Repeat this process as many times as needed. After a couple of minutes, when the entire campfire ring cools down completely, you should start packing trash found in the campfire ring. Carry them away from the site and dismantle any structure you might have built for convenience or amusement. So that's all about it. We hope you have a clear insight into the correct way of making a campfire in the great outdoors. Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section, and if you like this video, hitting the like button would be awesome.